We are back at it again. It feels like forever.
It's always forever when it comes to you.
Wow. That's just spicy. Off rip, huh?
You started it. It's your little sarcastic innuendos.
How was that sarcasm?
How long has it been?
Has it been 2 weeks?
Yes.
But did they miss us? Is what I'm asking.
I know I missed. I don't know about
Then talk about a sarcasm.
you.
Either way, we are back in the saddle again. The Devil's Advocate podcast, your favorite podcast for looking at both sides of the coin to any particular topic. And tonight's topic, I got sandbagged. Typically, I like to curate the shows, but this one is all my co-host, the Creamy One's suggestion, fully curated by the lady herself.
What's it?
All these is your videos. These is your questions.
I just been doing my homework. Somebody told me to do my homework.
Somebody.
I like to come out of class with an A++. Okay. Teachers.
So somebody did a little bit of their poly work, and and what is tonight's show about, Creamy?
Polyamorous dynamics, baby.
Polyamorous dynamics, baby.
Yes, which you know a lot about, right?
Me? Why do I know a lot about it?
Do you not?
I just know how to be
modest tonight. That's what you're trying to be?
I just want to be me. That's all. I just gotta be me.
You who live a I'm sorry, what is it?
An ambiamorous life. It's not a polyamorous life.
Ambiamorous life.
Wow. See, now you got to add shit to it. This is always it's like stepping on eggshells because there are specific terms and ideologies associated with alternative lifestyles from monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I am not the foremost expert on anything. Everything is based on my experience and opinion, and I do not identify as polyamorous. But I know plenty of people who do and have once tried to assimilate that lifestyle. All them fancy ass words to say.
Right.
Don't listen to what the fuck I got to say. Just take that shit with a grain of salt.
You done with your disclaimer? Did you take your inhaler before we started?
Yes.
Right.
Don't tell them all my business.
You are so lying. Is that a Corona?
Are you gonna laugh at me?
What is it?
You gonna laugh at it? It's not a Corona. I like Stewart's cream sodas.
Nigga, put that. I had my mouth all watering for a Corona. I thought you had one. Damn.
I'm still a gangster though, with my Stewart's cream soda.
I see you.
He said, "What about Negro Amberous?" What?
Who is a Negro Empress?
Me probably.
For sure.
So first, before I get to the introduction of my co-host, can we just set some precedents here? The definition of polyamory is poly meaning more than one, multiple, and amorous meaning love. So polyamory is nothing more than
I'm so sweet. Go ahead.
It is the want and desire for many loves.
Okay.
That's it. Many loves. Those dynamics do not necessarily have to be romantic, but that's what people associate it with. There's a difference between polyamory, polygyny.
We're not digging into some of them tonight.
Because I gotta set this because there's a lot of misinformation, and I just don't want no trouble. That's all. I just don't want no trouble. We got some.
Yeah.
Bass said this disclaimer is wild as fuck. What's up, Salvador? In the comments, Brits up in the building. Carolyn sending us hearts and love. Let me get this XL1. Yeah. That's how you get a finger in your butt.
That is not wine. That is liquor. I would say
that is liquor.
I be fucked up.
That's cold liquor. We got my man Big Exclusive from the Big Exclusive Network saying the lady in red and Kurt, what up? And then following up with titties.
Damn. I tried to hide them.
How? like Godzilla trying to hide in the forest. Get the fuck out of here.
Every time I button the button, it came unbuttoned, so I couldn't.
That's because the buttons ain't supposed to button on it. Your titties is polyexposomers.
Everything's just gonna be positive tonight, right?
Yeah. Cardi said I gotta tread carefully on this one, bruh. I love my poly folk.
You can't come in here and tread carefully. That's not what we do.
Yes. Bass says mono people associated with romance more than anything because it's like everything in a neat little box. Yup. What's up, June? All right. Let's first and foremost, I'm your boy King Kurt Live, obviously the HNIC of HNIC Network. I get the most fortuitous pleasure to do this podcast from the seventh circle of hell, apparently, with my with my beautiful co-host, the creamiest of the creamies, the original. Please, Creamy.
Business.
Creamy, introduce yourself.
I thought you was giving me a whole introduction until you did that right there.
What better way to lead you in, baby?
That's how I start off most times.
It's gonna be a long night.
Hey y'all, what's up? I'm glad to be back. Glad y'all in the house. Like, it is what it is. It's the creamy one, aka the sleeper versus no one at all. It's me against everybody else. So it's good to see y'all.
Please show some love. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure that you follow Creamy on Instagram. And of course, Head Nerds in Charge on all platforms. And do us a favor, hit the share button.
Hey, share.
Yeah, share. We want to get a whole bunch. We want to get a nice collaboration of thoughts and views on this topic and subject. So make sure y'all hit the share button on all your platforms. Invite your friends in. Tell your mama sit down. She been trying to find another nigga other than your daddy for a long time. So this is a conversation she been wanting to have with you. She been fed up with that dusty nigga. If your daddy wouldn't have been so insecure and let Uncle Tank come to the crib every other week, she'd have been a much happier woman. I promise you that. But no, that's not what he wanted to do. I'm just saying.
You ain't shit. I guess I had a few uncles. I don't know.
Listen, I had misters. That's why I had a Mr. Darryl, Mr. James, Mr. Tyreek. I ain't had no uncles. I ain't never let them niggas be unk. But it was a whole lot of misters. A whole lot of misters. It wasn't until I got older. I was like, the fuck? What?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know how the light stayed on.
Yo, shut up.
Listen,
what you had to do, God damn it.
Listen, let me tell you. So funny story, right? Real quick. I remember I was helping my mom. She's older and infirmed and whatnot. And I got the Social Security breakdown of her work history throughout her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this shit and I'm just like, you ain't never made no money, but I ain't never been hungry. Like, these poverty level numbers, but you maintain a house, electricity, bills, multiple kids. I was like, Ma. I said, Ma, how the hell did you? And she just grinned. I said, ooh, you nasty heifer. Ooh. Crush my little heart. Crush my little heart. I said, ooh, my mama was skipping and dipping back in the day.
Dipping and diving.
Listen.
Sucking and fucking.
But come on now. She is what the Commodores would call a bad mama jamma.
That part.
Or a brick house.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Okay. A young Thundercat, if you will. Well, either way, I still have food on the table. So, speaking of fucking mamas, let's get right into this polyamorous talk. So, Creamy, you set this up. You said you wanted to have this conversation. So, talk to me. What is it that you want to discuss from your education on the subject?
I just want to know if I qualify to be in a lifestyle. That's all. I don't know.
Okay, all right, that's a question. Are you breathing?
Barely.
All right, well then you qualify. All right, show's over. Thank you, folks. Have a good night. It was a pleasure to have you here.
I
I
got
hope you learned
questions that I
something.
need answers to.
Creamy is here
Don't
all
do
week.
it. Don't do that. I'm about to hit my cat with something because he is on my vanity
All
acting
right,
up.
come on, talk your shit.
So not only do I want to know if I qualify, I just don't understand. It's not too far from you just doing fucking you. Like, is you not being in a relationship? I get that you say Holly is multiple people and then Amory is love, but can't you do that shit outside of a relationship?
Yes, absolutely.
Why
So,
not?
so, so here's the thing. Um, I'm a. This is how I explain a lot of things. I use um, parables, analogies. So let me just say this: can a man suck a dick once, decide that he's not for him, and not be considered gay?
In my eyes, yes.
Okay, in your personal eyes, yes. Then people can indulge in polyamorous lifestyles and not be poly or not subscribe to that lifestyle. It's something that they tried, something that they did. They thought, hey, I'll give it a swing, found out it wasn't for them, or said, I did it, but I don't need to continue it. And they moved on. Human beings have a necessity to label every fucking thing because
Everything.
we have to put things in a box. But those labels do not stop at alternative lifestyles. We have to label connections, marriage, monogamy, boyfriend, girlfriend, we together, jump off, side John, friends with benefits, fuck buddies, fuck boy. We have to label literally everything that we do not consider the status quo. And even the status quo has labels.
Facts. But so it's that analogy of I want my cake and eat it too, right? So I want monogamy, right?
Uh-huh.
In the sense I want monogamy. Right? But
Wait, no. Hold on. You got to explain that. What does that mean in a sense? You either want monogamy or you don't. Because monogamy is a very definitive thing.
I wanted to be all the things that monogamy is, but I also like when I need my space and I want to do me, I just want to do me.
What does do me consider of? Does that mean fucking another man?
It may.
Okay, then. Then
It
that's
may
not monogamy.
make sense. No, but I want that person to still be there and
You
be present the whole
you
time.
you can have so so in my wiser years, now that I am about to turn the big 4-2, I don't subscribe to any of that shit anymore. I don't subscribe to monogamy, polyamory, ambry. I use these terms to help people visualize who and what I am.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, any relationship dynamic that I enter into, whether it be business, platonic, familial, friendship, or romantic, I negotiate terms. I negotiate terms for everything because then we don't have to have miscommunications. And that's what I learned very early on in my poly journey. I was miscommunicating like a motherfucker. They thought that it was one thing. I thought it was another. Shit goes left. And then the next thing you know, motherfuckers is moving to Texas. I'm sorry, that's a personal. People losing their minds. And ultimately, I lost a lot of relationships that I deserve to lose because I could not properly articulate my boundaries or have a full understanding of theirs and be able to operate within that dynamic. Baz said something earlier about accountability. Accountability is where boundaries come in because boundaries set the precedence of this is what I allow, this is what I won't allow. If you cross this boundary, I am going to do X, Y, or Z. Communication is probably the most paramount thing above all things for all relationships, but even more so in dynamics where you're going to entertain more than one person.
Okay, I guess.
All right, because
I mean,
go ahead.
I've seen your dynamic, and I feel like even with everything that's out on the table, that shit's still not working.
I see. Okay, so we ain't got to talk about my personal dynamics, but we could talk about my personal dynamics. Here's my thing: people think they can handle things until look. Every motherfucker think they the best boxer in the world till they get in the ring with the best boxer in the world. People think they can handle a thing until you can't. I honestly, I have tested the limits of my own. I'm territorial. I'm a territorial man. I hate the term alpha male. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world, but I got to be the best, biggest, baddest motherfucker in the room. And I don't present that. I don't try to exude that, but I know me. When I look around the room, unless they're my brother or my bro or somebody that I'm familiar with, I size everyone up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So essentially, I started off trying to be hierarchical. I'm your number one nigga. I'll treat you like my number one person. We have our thing, and everybody else falls underneath us. I'm always the number one priority.
Okay.
Whew, that shit did not go well.
So it brings me to I guess a question would be, what is your ideal relationship? Like, what would it look like?
Peace. That's it. That's the answer. One word, peace. I just want fucking peace. I'll be by my goddamn self and twiddle my own wagon for peace.
You went to 100. You okay?
Listen.
You all right?
Peace. Peace. Fucking peace. I'm 42 years old. I'm about to be 42 goddamn years old. I want to go to sleep and not worry about no bullshit. I don't want to wake up to no fuck ass text messages. I don't want to wake up to no weird ass phone calls. I don't want to get no dumb ass inquiries. I just want peace.
Who's high? Take a deep breath. You might cough, but take a deep breath, okay? So do you think that you would ever like consider a monogamous relationship again?
I'll consider any relationship depending upon the dynamic and the person. Now, do I have my preferences or what I currently operate in? Yes. I always tell people I don't operate with a plan. I don't operate with a goal in mind. I used to be that way. I was a husband for well over a decade. When I dated with intention. You know, women love that shit. I date with intention and purpose. I have a plan for us, and I'm going to build us up. We're going to build an empire together, and we're going to be king and queen ding-a-ling. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Can you operate in my space and have peace? Can I operate in your space and have peace? I am not on a relationship escalator. If things evolve, which it should, if we are making the necessary growth and connections, then awesome. Let nature take its course, and what will be will be. But unfortunately, people have a timetable, a scale, and a rubrics to how relationships are supposed to evolve.
I'm sorry, I just read a comment that was funny.
I know it's a lot. Yes. Case in point, man dates woman for 10 years, then ups and decides to marry her. All of a sudden, he's admonished. Damn, he had her waiting 10 years. Damn, they dated for 10 years before he finally. Who the fuck is none of your business? Was they happy?
Right.
Were they prosperous? Did they grow? Did he need to work out some shit? Because guess what? Had he married her earlier, Case in point, read something earlier. I knew it before, but I found this to be interesting. Do you know the age that a man actually comes to full emotional maturity?
35.
Okay, Creamy says 35. I'm going to give people some time. Let me get your guess in the comments. What is the age that a grown man typically comes to emotional maturity? So they look, niggas must have read the same thing I read because they hitting it right on the head.
They my age.
43 years old.
That's why I can't find nobody. Because
that means I'm 2 years. I got 2 years left on my immaturity, and I'm living the best life I can. I love this shit. I love being a big ass kid.
You know.
But emotional maturity, think about that. Do you know what the average age a woman grows to emotional maturity?
Shit. I think I did at what, 16?
Well, some of our women are forced to grow up a lot faster. But hold on. I want to make sure I get this right.
Get it right.
You see, right. I'm typing fast
right.
too.
Get it right.
32. 32. There is an 11-year gap between men and women in maturity levels. Now, mind you, by the time that man reaches 42 or 43, you have operated in your most maturest emotional state for over a decade. You a veteran. We are still on the job training at 43. That means we not even going to be where you at until we 53. Think about that. Right around the time my dick stopped working is the time I'm finally emotionally mature to take on a woman.
Who's to say your dick stopped working?
I'm just saying in general. That's what Blue Chew send that shit out to the 50 and over demographic.
You had a Blue Chew before?
Once. That shit is a humdinger. Let me tell you something. That shit is like putting rocket fuel in a fucking Maserati. If you already a stout young man, woo! Rip it out the frame, fucking around with that Blue Chew. Anyway,
all right.
You asked. So I say all that to say, if we don't reach emotional maturity until 43, women are emotionally mature at 32. No wonder the divorce rate in America and the world teeters around 60%. Because we have these fuck-ass morality clauses within religion, society, that says you have to marry for whatever reason. Not you have to maintain and be a good partner, spouse. They don't emphasize being a good husband. They just emphasize the act of marriage. Now, mind you, taken now, because I'm not trying to overtake this conversation, but I happen to feel very passionate about it. I have counseled multiple married couples as a minister at one point in my life. Sat before them, heard their problems, gave them scriptural advice as a husband and a wife. I have a very scripturally based education on how to maintain a marriage. I also have real life experience in how to maintain a marriage. Creamy, you were married for almost as long as I was, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? We ain't the only business that's gonna be out here. You was married for almost as long.
Always bringing up old shit.
See, I'm just saying you was almost married for as long. All right. So you know what it means to be a spiritually submissive wife. I avoid that term now because it can be a dog whistle, but you know what I mean when I say submissive.
Yes.
And I know what it means to be a spiritual husband that leads in love. Having that working knowledge, I can operate in every fucking relationship dynamic and win. But that don't mean that's me. You understand? There's a lot of people who know how to operate in their representative for years. I can pretend for years. Some of y'all love a thumb in your butt. Some of y'all love somebody to spit in your mouth. Some of y'all want to be choked the fuck out. Here's why I have a reason for why I'm saying this. Some of y'all have kinks that you push aside because you're so afraid of how taboo they are that you're not even vulnerable with the person who is supposed to be closest to you.
So can you thrive in a relationship where you can't totally be yourself? You cannot
Hell no.
in a relationship where you can't totally be yourself. This is the problem. That's the breakdown.
Okay. So can you listen? Listen to what you said, and I'm very specific about words. Can you be successful? Yes.
Yeah,
Can you thrive? No. Because thriving, in my opinion, means you're operating in your truest self.
Right. And if you're lacking something, you're going to try to figure out where you can get that from or what's going to make up for that thing.
Oh, baby. You start longing for other shit. Because let me tell you, this is the fucked up part is the older we get, the more that clock starts ticking. Once you, because look, my internal clock didn't start ticking till I turned 40. And I was like, oh shit. Most of the men in my family die at 60. I always say jokingly, not jokingly, I got 20 good years left in this fucking world. When I leave here, I promise you, I have already lived 10 lifetimes in my 40. If I left this earth tomorrow, I'm gonna leave a happy motherfucker because man, did I have a humdinger down on this little rock. But for the time I have remaining, the Bible says most men and women live to be 70 with special mindedness, 80 years old. So let's just say at the minimum, 40 is the halfway mark of most people's lives, which, you know, with modern medicine, that seems to be the case. Once you're on the other side of that halfway mark, what do they say? I got more days. I have less days in front of me than I do
behind me.
So now you start being like, being uncomfortable ain't it.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, Creamy. You ever flown Spirit or Frontier?
Frontier.
Okay. Was it a long flight?
No. Oh, right. Wait. It was 2 flights, but not long. Go ahead.
Okay, not long, right? How long were you on the plane?
2.5 hours to Florida, and then another 2.5 to Punta Cana.
Okay, 2.5 hours with a break in between. If I told you you had to fly Spirit or Frontier to Africa, and it was going to be
the devil is a liar.
But wait, why? Why would you fly Spirit and Frontier to Florida and Punta Cana, but not to Africa?
I have a limit on the plane. I'm just going to tell you right now.
What did you just say? Okay.
Only allows me to fly for about 3 hours. That's it.
But if you had to.
I guess if I fly to the motherland, I guess I would.
But would you find another airline or would you fly Spirit and Frontier? If it was the same price.
Like I think about costs and all that shit.
No. I'm gonna take out the cost is the same for every airline. The cost is the same across the board for every airline. Would you fly Spirit and Frontier or would you pick another airline?
I would pick another airline.
But why?
My chances would be better.
To get there? God damn. For me, it's about comfort, right? If I'm going to be in a long haul with somebody, if I'm going to have a long flight, I'm going to find the most comfortable airplane where I can stretch my legs out. I'm 6'1", I'm 300 plus. I can fit in one of them tiny ass seats, but I'm going to be uncomfortable as hell. But if I'm uncomfortable as hell, but it gets me to my destination the way that I want to, and it's only for a little while, I don't mind it as much. But if I got to be on a plane for over 2 hours, uncomfortable, now all of a sudden that bargain ain't a bargain no more. And that's how it is with a lot of these relationships. That 10-year relationship, it wasn't that bad. You ate that because it was cool. But then time starts to set in. Your knees start to ache. Your butt get a little tight. Not like that, but you know what I mean. You become uncomfortable.
No, I get it.
And now you start seeking other flights because I'll be damned if I get back on Frontier and Spirit unless they start upgrading your shit. And if a man or a woman is not upgrading themselves, evolving themselves, making things more comfortable in love, life, and relationships with you, then the status quo won't ever be okay. Even maintaining is not enough because people evolve. People want better. And the advent of the internet it's fucked you all, because now everybody's got relationship goals. And the relationship goals ain't even real anymore.
That shit is fugazi.
But that's why people are adopting alternative relationship styles and types. Like I've seen people admonish women. I can't believe 2 women serving 2 men. But then the inverse, if it was a woman with 2 men, they're like, yes, bitch. That's what I need. Wait, what? Why is it one way for one and not the other? I get it, patriarchy. But essentially, if everything was on an even keel, it should be okay for everyone, right? As long as everybody's in love and happy.
Right, but it's more common to see 2 women and a man than it is to see 2 men and a woman.
Why is that?
Dynamic I'm looking for.
Why is that? So okay, 1, why is that? And 2, why can't you find your dynamic?
I could, but so I think it's a thing of, I guess I would have to operate in that particular setting with those particular people, which I don't, because I don't come across things. I'm always in the house. But as far as like women and men, like the 2 women and a man, it's just something that's just known. Like, oh, okay, that's common. Oh, but she a whore. She let no one to train on her because she got 3 niggas and it's just her. I just want to benefit from the situation. You know what I mean?
Okay. And what benefit do the 3 men have with you?
So that's what I want to get into. Like, what is the benefits of having a polyamorous relationship? Like, how do you benefit from it?
I don't benefit from a motherfucking soul.
You know, fucking what? You get on my damn nerves.
See that? So again, I'm a bit different. I operate in ethical non-monogamy. If I had to be descriptive, I can operate in monogamy or polyamory. Also, if I were to identify as polyamorous, I would be what's considered solo poly. I date myself. I am 100% reliant on me. I am my most important person, and everything else falls underneath me. I tell people that up front. I say, this is my boundaries and my terms and what I want for me. If you fall into my lifestyle because I have a level of priorities, and I'm telling you right now, you will never be number 1 because that's my spot. And then my hopes, dreams, goals, aspirations are number 2. And then maybe you'll come somewhere in there between 3, 4, and 5, depending on how I'm feeling that day. Right. Sounds like an asshole, right?
No, because that's how I will be too. I would kind of be the same way. Like, it's me here, up here, then it's my kids, and then it's my career.
Right. But how many niggas think that they number 1 in your life? Like, that's the thing. That's the shit niggas will say. They'll be like, I want to be. How the fuck you number 1 in her life and she got kids?
They can't even be number 1 in their own life. God damn it.
Listen, you might not even beat the dog.
And the dog he get priority over here.
I'm just saying. People have this innate need for self-importance and to be lauded and elevated in spaces and places where it doesn't even have to be real. They just have to be told it. I could sit here and tell every woman that I interact with, you're the only one I'm fucking with. You're the only one I care about. You're the only one I love. And each one of them will believe it. But the level of betrayal they would feel to find out that that wasn't the case. Whoo. Now, if I go to them and say, I absolutely love, care, and enjoy what we have. Also, I share that with another person and another person and another person. I give you the autonomy to make the decision of whether or not you want to deal with me.
That's all I ask for. Don't take away my choice. I tell you that all the time. Do not take away my choice. Like, do not take away from me my ability to say I'm going to deal with this or I'm not going to deal with this. You know what I mean? Let me think
Mhm.
about it. Let me sit on it for. Let me let me sit on it for a second. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, we love when you sit on it for a second.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying. I'm just speaking in general.
So
You ain't
hate
got
you.
to be filthy with it.
Yeah. So don't take that away from me. If you give me a choice, you give me the ability to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I guess I watch so many shows and it's like, okay, so this when we're in this type of dynamic, it's like finance, you know,
Helps. That's a benefit.
well, it's like everyone comes in, they contribute
Hmm.
to the finances.
Until somebody feels like somebody else isn't pulling their weight, or somebody misuses the funds.
How do you fucking deal with
But
that?
that's that. But that's the case in any marriage, any relationship. Every relationship deals with that. Know
Shit.
who you dating.
What they say, it take 10 years to kind of get comfortable in your marriage with finance,
Child,
all that
please.
type shit.
Don't get, what do they
I
call
think
it?
we
The
found
7 year, the 7 year
7 years.
itch. Seven
7 years.
year itch.
Yep.
Ooh, we
Hmm.
was itching.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's so much. Look where we at now.
yeah, look, single than a motherfucker. I honestly, so what I know is marriage is not easy. Very easy to get into, extremely hard to get out of,
Yes.
and can fuck your life up after the fact.
That's
So,
why would you want to marry two women?
well, here's why. 27 years old, a young Kurt.
Oh, here we go. Everybody get
Look,
their sleeping bags.
nah. A young Curtis Brown said, "I want to be a husband, and I'm gonna be the man that my father wasn't. I'm gonna be the best husband ever. I'm never going to cheat, and I'm going to make sure that my marriage lasts." 1 out of 3 ain't bad. I never cheated, but man, I had no fucking clue how to be a good husband. What I did know was scriptures. I knew the Bible. And I said, okay, if I just keep applying this Bible knowledge, this shit should work. It did not play out that way because I focus, I hyperfixate on the things that I care about the most. So being a minister took precedent, and that was more important than my marriage at one point. And especially when she would do shit like, and I don't want to talk negatively about her, but um she would do things like withhold sex as a punishment,
Mm.
make a nigga want to cheat.
Why do people do that?
I have no clue. That's a great way to get cheated on.
Aren't you depriving yourself though? I'd rather
Some
fuck
people don't
that
mind.
and still be mad at you afterwards.
Yo, she had me really thinking my dick game was trash. I was like, damn, I must really not be that good at it. Fortunately, I know that it's not the case now, but
Where the fuck we go?
I'm
You
just
got
saying,
that
like, nah. But for men and women, you instill a level of insecurity in your partner when you do shit like that. Because where's the desire?
mm-hmm.
Bass said, "Cut off your nose to spite your face." Exactly. You feel like you punishing me, but we both going home with
We
semen
both really
retention
have
and mad.
blood
So
on.
so to me, like, Creamy, what when you were married, uh-huh. Would you openly admit to doing some things to punish your husband?
So I'm a person that bad thing. I've been working on this for years. I will stop talking.
Oh, oh,
Just,
I hate the
just
fucking
go.
silent treatment.
And I have learned that you cannot be that way. So I would be like, I would walk around. I wouldn't say nothing until until I calm down. So my thing is because I know I have this anger, and I've had gotten to a place where I have touched the tip of that anger, and it's not nice. It's not nice, okay? And there's no coming back from it once that should explode, right? So I try not to get that way. So I just shut up until I can like calm myself down internally. That way I'm not spitting fire, and I can come back and say, hey, this was the problem. You know? I have not
No, I
withheld.
don't know because I'm peaceable and loving.
There, anyway, there has been a time where my ex-husband um was going to school, and he was having conversation with these females, and he was seeing somebody and going out with somebody at the school that he was going to. Mind you, I was the breadwinner. I was the one working and all that stuff. Did what I had to do, help my family down. It was what it was. One night, I
Mm,
don't know. I don't go through people's
mm,
phones, and this was the first and probably the last time that I went through somebody's phone. We had the little flip phones or whatever with the
not the
little,
flippy.
yeah. So you couldn't screenshot and send that shit to your phone.
DML, yeah, it ain't
So
like
my
DMs.
memory was A1 back then. Like I will read shit verbatim to you, okay? That I read in your shit. So we fucked that night, right? After I read the messages, right? We fucked that night, put that nigga to sleep, went through the rest of the phone.
No, you
Okay.
went through the Nokia flip, or was it a razor?
Yo, it wasn't a razor. It was a what's like a Sanyo or something.
Yo,
When you
passcodes
go, you
wasn't
turn your red
passcoding back
doors.
then.
Oh my god, so crazy. So I let that nigga go to sleep.
Mm.
And then once I finished getting my evidence and everything, my build up, because I already knew something was going on, I woke that nigga up and I didn't even had the phone in my hand. Just start repeating the shit that was in his phone.
Oh,
Repeating it.
I know his heart.
Yo, dropped. Because that
Ah,
nigga, what was going on?
that's. Mm,
He didn't know what was going on.
mm, listen.
Crazy. Niggas crazy sometimes.
No,
But
I don't want to talk about my relationship ended.
ain't no peace. Shut up.
No peace. Yup. Look, no, I mean, if you skipping and dipping and doing something you ain't supposed to do,
Right.
then Carolyn says that's personally my problem. I control my anger a lot better now. I say shit that will destroy your soul.
Yes.
See, I'm always ooh,
Right.
I don't like to yell or argue, but
Neither
I
do I.
yell and I come from a home where we yelled and argued.
Mhm.
So that is usually my default. So I'm really big on not doing that now because I'll argue you into the ground. Don't touch me. Don't raise your voice, and we won't have no problems. I have a propensity to react very physically to any threats of violence. It has not served me well in my life, and
Mhm.
I have gone through extensive therapy to put in mitigators to ensure that I do not react inappropriately with anyone by putting my hands on them.
I back out. Don't yell at me.
Yeah,
Don't yell at me because I'm going. A lot of my childhood fights. That's how I know that I have this thing that's going to snap. You yell, I black out. Only thing I know is that I come to. We throwing blows. Now, have I ever gotten into a fight with a man that I was with? No, no. I'm very submissive in a
huh?
relationship.
There go
Very.
that word. There go that word.
I'm very submissive in a relationship. I'm sorry if that person, if I trust that person, and I love and care for that person,
Can
I
we
am very submissive.
can we get into that word real quick?
Yes.
So we're talking about polyamorous dynamics. I have had multiple different kinds of women in polyamorous dynamics. All women submit to me in some way, shape, form, or fashion because they trust me in directing and leading. I do not ask for submission ever. I never say you should submit to me. I never say I want you to be more submissive. I don't say that shit out of my mouth because I know how to earn it. I know how to foster submission without the request. And any man, ladies, clip this shit, send it to whoever you need to that you love. Any man who says you're not submissive enough or you need to submit to me more has not bred an environment to which you trust them. Period.
Mm-hmm.
A lack of submission is a symptom and indication of a defect in leadership and trust in the relationship. And if you are of a traditional sense where a man leads, then you as a woman need to do one of two things. You either need to get you a new man that you actually trust, or help guide your man to a level where you can trust him. Otherwise, he will never ever truly feel like a man. You'll always be babying him. And I just love to sit back. I love the ability to sit back and not say a fucking word and just listen to women talk. Yeah. He the head, but I make all the decisions and I lead this, and we the ones that run things. And because I always am a firm believer in a true king does not need to tell anybody that he's the king.
That part.
You'll know because of his presence.
A true king, you don't have to guide and lead either. They're supposed to be doing the leading.
Right. But not only leading, but leading. I always say, I used to minister to so many men. I am leading. I am leading. I'm leading but are you leading in love?
No.
Because you can lead a horse by beating it with a stick.
That part.
You can lead a horse by grabbing the reins and dragging it. Or when you walk, does that horse walk step by step with you because you've practiced and shown it the cadence in which you can lead it? Does it know that it's being led to water, nutrition? Does it know that it'll be sated if it goes with you? Or did you lead it down a path that hurt it or caused it discomfort? If you make decisions and fuck up, then you need to, take the accountability and make corrective action that doesn't happen again. Because a woman, true women, mature at what age? 32. Yo, dumbass, 43. So all those immature decisions you making in that 10-year span that you with her, she's calculating this shit. And the numbers, the math, how they say the math ain't mathing. If you 9 out of 10 for your decision-making skills, then she might as well be by her goddamn self.
That part.
But the fucked up part is, what do you do when you're in a marriage? Because
the rules change when you're in a marriage, though. It's like once you're there, the first thing is try to work through them problems.
Creamy, we fitting to be here all night if you keep saying stuff like this. Why do the rules change? Who said they had to change? By whose law and standard are you saying that the rules have to change?
I mean, don't you work a little harder when you're in a marriage?
Why should you?
When I'm in a relationship, when I'm in a relationship and there's no like it's no commitment, we're not engaged, we're not married, I'm just in a relationship and I probably know that relationship is not going anywhere, I'm not going to do as much for it to work. I'm sorry.
Honey. That's interesting to hear. Here's my thought process on that. I don't put effort into anything that I don't want to grow. I'm not going to water flowers that are dead. So I get rid of the flowers and get new flowers. I don't believe in half.
I still got dead flowers up there that
I'm sure you do.
Like sometimes, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't want death around me.
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm dead serious, and I joke, but I'm just, for me, if I can't, the moment I trust you, and I know I will be friends with you, because I don't need to be again on a relationship escalator. I could just be friends. You want to fuck? That's cool too. We could keep in this lane if we are both not in a place of trust and emotional awareness to be able to pursue something greater. Now, if we get to the point that I want to pursue, not be in a relationship, not the minute it clicks in my head, like, I want her. Oh, now it's up. And I'm going to come at you with 100%, and I'm going to maintain that 100% as best as I can throughout the life of our relationship. Because why would you turn up after that? And I play a lot of sports. They always say you play like you practice. If you don't go 100% in practice, what makes you think you're going to be game time ready? That's why I don't like masturbation. I'm dead ass. I'm serious. I don't personally like masturbation because it throws off my rhythm and my timing when it's time to fuck. I want to be game time ready. You got listen. I make myself nut under 30 seconds. That's how good I am. I'm delicious. My my masturbatory
I
skills.
really be hating to hear this stuff. Sometimes
I'm
I be
just saying,
like,
my
blah, blah, blah,
masturbatory
blah.
skills are a fucking one. Let me tell you something. Don't nobody love me like
Right.
I love me. Don't nobody touch me like I touch me. So listen, I'm like Little Caesar's pizza, hot and ready
I'm
in less
ready.
than 30. Look, but when it's time to when it's time to engage with a woman, now I'm like, oh, hold on, wait a goddamn minute. Now I need a little bit more longevity.
Yeah, that 30 seconds is gonna work.
Right. That 30 seconds ain't gonna get it. So I don't do that. It's just my personal thing. I'm not gonna fuck up my rhythm because I like to show out and I'm an exhibitionist at heart and I'm putting on a show anytime I'm fucking. But that's just me. That's just me. So for you to say, oh, when I get into a relationship, now it's up. I don't understand that. But why? Do you feel like you're protecting yourself?
You know, I always got a bunch of walls up.
I know. And that's how
that's
you
the
know
problem.
that
That's why
person
I'm
isn't
not
for
in a
you yet.
relationship. You said what?
That's how you know that person isn't for you yet. Any person that we always use the analogy of walls. Oh, I gotta overcome all these obstacles in these walls. And black women, my sisters, y'all got whole castles. Y'all got fucking terror domes
With
built up.
dragons
Yeah,
and
no, and for good reason. For good reason. But also having walls up for men that you're in relationships with is crazy wild to me.
no, that is crazy.
That's like that. I mean, I get it. I understand the why because you feel like you need to protect yourself. But to me, don't even let them into the castle if you don't fully trust them.
No, that's true. I mean, I've worked on myself within this last year. I kind of know what the root of my problem was.
Oh, good. What's the root of your problem?
Don't worry about it. I'm not about to tell you what my therapist.
Well, I want to know what the root is. Give me the root.
The root. No, I'm not giving you my. Shut the fuck up. The root was my daddy issues. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
I know what the root of my problem was. So it was my daddy issues. My particular relationship abandonment style. So yeah, that's pretty much where I would abandon anything that I thought was going to leave me before I left it. So I mean, why not just leave the relationship and be like, fuck it, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Okay, now I'm okay. Now, okay. Yeah, we want the root, but I'm okay with I don't value you in a relationship enough to bring down my walls, so I'm going to end things. But really end it. You don't get to come back. You don't get to play like I don't like being a yo-yo. Don't pull and push me at your whim and pleasure, because despite the fact that one of the greatest creation God ever brought to this earth was fried chicken and pussy, I'll give up both of them if it's not good for me. And ultimately, I truly feel like it is better to end things badly than to continue things in a toxic setting, which is a wild statement for me because I always find myself in a toxic situation that I let go on far too long than I normally should. But I always believe in, again, I have an old school ideology. Divorce was not an option. See, growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses and being married in that faith, divorce isn't an option unless you cheat. And I wasn't cheating and she hadn't cheated. So it wasn't a matter of we're staying together despite being happy. We have no choice but to stay together to keep God happy.
That part.
And that's a different level of confinement that I had to endure. That's why when things ended, woo, celebrate good time. I don't want to say I wilded out. I just went on my journey of self-discovery, get a little bit of therapy, found out that I need to come to terms with who is Curtis Brown without the religion. That part. And I've been on that journey ever since. And in that journey, I was exposed to alternative lifestyles outside of monogamy. Um, I have found that it's not even the polyamory that is advantageous for me. It's the blunt honesty. I like saying this is exactly who the fuck I am.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me or no? Because if you don't, cool. We could be cool friends. I'll move the fuck on and go about my life.
Yeah, I think that's the I think that's the I think that's the thing. Like after being in a marriage and religion and everything, and then I've been married since I was what 23, like going on 22, 23. But I've been with this person since I was 18.
Oof.
So um to be in that life, it's like I never had a chance. Like being grown and having kids early, it was like I did not know who Creamy was at all.
Couldn't.
I did not know who I was. I didn't know what I liked, what I wanted to experience. Only I know is that I was in this marriage. I had these kids. I went through some hard times, and at one point in time, shit just fell apart. You
Right.
know, so then it took me on a road of you got to figure out who you are, and then who you are without this person. Okay.
Because marriage is what? The assimilation of, if it's a religious one, a threefold cord, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's you, your husband, and God.
God. Yep.
If you don't have God, then it's at least a twofold cord.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
mean, the fact that because of a patriarchal society, women assimilate the last name of a man, which was actually originally to denote property, but we have kept that tradition going. You become me. We still, and if you subscribe to anything Bible based, men still say, "Well, my wife is my rib."
Yeah.
Right. Look. I
mean,
have
but you are one. You are considered one.
I have a hard time separating my new age ideology with the very core things I was taught, because in its right context, when I would say to my wife, "You my rib," that means I will love you and treat you like I would treat me. I would use that for those hard times when when I would look at her as an individual and an enemy, to be like, "What am I doing? That's my rib. That's me I'm mad at. So
Right.
I need to change my attitude." But most men weaponize that to denote ownership and be like, "No, you're mine. You need to bend to my will."
That's right.
Instead of using it as a corrective tool for themselves, they use it as a corrective tool for their women. And that's where shit gets fucked up. That's where trauma comes in. And that's why y'all got all these fuck ass walls that you build up, because maybe out of the remaining single men that's left in this world, how many of them are actually viable spouses and partners? And God forbid you have children.
Yeah.
Because then not only do they have to come in as a good husband, but they also have to come in as a viable father.
Thank God my kids are grown.
Even if they're grown, know how that man treats you, they look at that and it
No,
affects them.
I get that, but it's a lot less. It's a lot less work for them to do now.
Right.
You
Right.
get
You're
what
not
than it
raising.
would be for them. Like you don't gotta. And I hate when men say, I don't want nobody to have kids. I'm not trying to be a father to nobody's kids. Blah 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 blah. And I always say, my kids don't need a father. They got a father.
What?
They have a father. If you come in and treat their mother right, you don't have
Right.
no issues. But I deal with a Virgo myself, and she don't play that. Okay, she don't like nobody.
I don't
Nobody.
blame them.
Okay, it don't matter what you do, she don't like you. Until you got, it takes time to prove to her that you worth being inside this space.
And
But that also comes
understandable.
from like past experiences. You
I
get
was
what
about to say, there's got to be a trauma there somewhere.
past experiences. So I just think that dating at this age, at 43, and then having
You
kids that are
43?
shut the fuck up.
God damn, you look good, baby.
Thank you, baby. I'll be
I thought you
44
was
this
like
year.
22 in this motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up. Why you gotta play?
I'm just
Grown
saying.
ass kids. You
No,
already
I'm
know.
just saying. Yep, I still got 2 more fucking years till I get to be mature. But I also appreciate the fact that, listen, have you seen the stress that some of these people are going through? They motherfuckers I grew up with looking bad.
Yeah, some of mine, some of them go.
I'm about to say all that huck to it, and that jawline is wrinkled. It's fucked up their jawline. They got the crow's feet and shit.
The crow's feet, ain't that in the eyes?
Yeah, but it got it in the corners of their mouths.
I hate you. Too much air.
Yeah. Yeah. See how well you did that? See how well you did that? No. So man, there's so many directions we can go in this. I in my polyamorous journey, I have dated women. I dated this one amazing Muslim sister. I'm not Muslim in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but she was open to entertaining me. And she wanted a polygynous dynamic. She wanted me to have other women who would be her then sister wife, and we would build a family that was devoted to the service of me.
Oh, yeah, you lost me at that part. But
I get it. And that was different because at that current time, I was dating a woman who was polyamorous, but she wasn't about, like, I'm of the poly dynamics where if I have a partner, that partner does not need to be friends, family, close. They don't even got to talk to anybody else that I'm dealing with unless you want to, and it's genuine, which is fine. You know, everybody operate in their own individuality. But this was not the way she wanted to operate. She was like, I want to take, I'm going to use aliases. I want to take,
Sabrina, go ahead.
Yeah, I like that. I want to take Sabrina out to lunch, and I want to take her to New York. And we went out, and, you know, she was cool, but I want to really build. Bass know who I'm talking about. He said Betty. I want them to love me. I want to build this family. And I was just like, come on, Betty. Like,
not Betty.
That's what I'm going. Betty and Sabrina. I was like, come on, Betty. Like, that's just not who she is. If it happens naturally, cool. If it doesn't. And then for me, I was like, also, please don't feel like it's one-sided. I don't do OPP, which is, you know, a poly slang for a one penis policy. I don't care who you entertain as long as everybody's being healthy and understanding.
Yes.
Yeah. Now me, I'm not. Now, mind you, I'm not in there to Eiffel Tower you with your homeboy. I'm not. I know you ain't gonna get no MMFs, threesomes from me. I'm not trying to be in the. Yeah, that's not my thing. It's just not my thing. Listen, go off. Find that. If you can find that in your life, please, by all means, be on the roast spit and make them niggas twirl you around. Whatever you feel like you want to do for the weekend is your business. All I ask is give me a 48. Yeah, you know that you twirl you around.
It's called me a smoked pig.
Smoked pig. Look, go ahead on. You a real rib now. I'm just, but you know, do your thing, because honestly, life is too short. Yes, I like B-Fly said piglet. Yup. Please.
Call me pretty pig.
So I mean, like, have your fun, live your life, enjoy yourself. Please do not feel like that moves me to the left or the right.
Right.
Do I want to see it? Not particularly, but I'm not going to tell you to police it. I'm going to police me. If I have a situation that I'm uncomfortable in, I've been in spaces where my partner was with one of my metas and she kissed him. Made me feel away. I didn't know why I felt away, but I felt away. So I got up and left. And I said, hey, listen, I was tripping. I didn't want to spoil the atmosphere in the party. I'm going to go check myself, blah, blah, blah. Because there's this misconception that poly people don't get jealous, which is bullshit. People are human beings.
Right.
It happens. It happens. Now, just like people get angry, you can get angry, but you can't punch everybody in the fucking face. No, you can't punch everybody in the yes, Tennille. That's against the law. But you have to learn how to mitigate your feelings. Honestly, I feel like I've been operating in a higher form of an emotional intelligence because I can mitigate my feelings in a very wide range of situations. Now, it also depends on my level of comfort with the individual, because some people, I have found that you can fall hard enough that you be like, I don't want nobody else to have this. That monogamy will kick in into me. And if I choose to take that up, cool. If I don't, then also cool. It's always about what you're willing to accept within the confines of the person's boundaries and yours. Because boundaries are not rules, right? Rules are, if you break them, there's a consequence.
Right.
Boundaries are, if you break them, I'm going to react. I'm going to do something different. If I say, Creamy, listen, I don't want you to suck a dick and then come right back and kiss me in the mouth. So if you suck the dick that day, please give me the common courtesy of at least washing your mouth out before you come kiss me.
There you go.
I'm just saying. I know poly people who be like, well, you should be okay with kissing them in the mouth. No, the fuck I shouldn't. Not if that's not that's not my boundary.
Right.
Let me see. B-Fly says, how does jealousy work in that dynamic? I'm seriously curious.
Oh, I am curious as well, because it's like, so I feel like when you're in a dynamic and everybody is aware, everybody is cool with it.
Right.
How do you navigate through jealousy?
You talk, you communicate, you do everything that you would normally do in any other.
Back of the head. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, you. So, I'll give real examples. Jealousy. So I'm quite lovable, and what I usually get from women is, I'm okay with your lifestyle, but I won't date you. I won't take ownership of you. I'll entertain you, but I can't call you my own, because the minute I'm in it, I'm going to want you all to myself. And I get that. I get that. I'm dope as fuck. So you would want exclusivity, and women, in my experience emotional jealousy more often than men, but men react worse to it. Men aren't often jealous, but when they are, woo, that shit can get violent. No, it can get it becomes dangerous. When women get jealous, it can be just as dangerous, but 9 times out of 10 they have the mental and emotional coping mechanisms. Again, emotionally mature at 32. To be able to handle it, as opposed to a petulant child in man's body that's going to react badly to it. You know what I mean? So I've seen both men and women get upset. I'll give you a story. Went to a nice little soiree with some poly friends. It was all the black poly community here in Philadelphia. I don't want to say that. I don't want to talk bad about people. I personally don't subscribe to it, because I'd be like, oh, this is a bunch of fucking weirdos. But whatever. We go to this party, and her boyfriend was there. Me and her were just talking, kind of getting into things, and we were getting into a vibe. I knew who he was. He knew who I was. It wasn't really a big deal. We get to the party, and he's with his other girlfriends, and he's mingling, and this is his crowd. So he's talking, and he's playing alpha male and life of the party. I walk in, very subdued. How's everybody? I'm chilling in the cut. The minute I walked in the fucking door, he went to a thought. Hey, y'all, look at this. This is the dude that's fucking my girl. Blah, blah, blah. Cool.
Wow.
I went off to the side, had a little drink. We just sitting in the corner, key talking. This motherfucker gets so mad, he's just pounding back alcohol, pounding it back. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna get bad. She gets asked, hey, we need to get some more sodas and whatnot. Can somebody go to the store? The young lady I was dating at the time was like, I'll go. And she got up to put her shoes on to go to the store. I come back into the room, and I'm like, yo, where you going? She's like, I'm gonna run to the store real quick. I'm like, by yourself?
Why didn't he?
She's like, yeah. Well, I asked all the other men in the room and they said no. I said, you don't ever go to the store by yourself, and it's nighttime. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but I'm not going to let you walk by yourself. Now I have embarrassed him because the women now in the room are like, that's what we said. So I wasn't caring about none of that. We walk to the store. We come back. When we come back, this motherfucker is on a bajillion now. Now he trying to kiss on he's like kissing his girlfriend, looking at the girl that I'm with, trying to incite her. Finally, the night ends by everybody being drunk and fucked up. He took some girl upstairs and was fucking the shit out of her, fucking her so loudly it sounded like he was about to come through the floor. He was fucking her with the intention of making a spectacle of it. And I'll never forget her turning to me and she was saying, she just looked so sad and she said, I am so sorry. This is uncomfortable for me now. Would you be okay with leaving? And I was like, I thought you would never fucking ask. Come on. And we got up out of there and we left. And I beat the brakes off of that shit that night. And the reason why I say that is like because
Spider-Man coming to save me.
Listen, but men react differently to jealousy. Men want to one up. Men want to assert dominance.
Of course, my dick bigger than yours type.
Right, dick match. Oh, I used a situation where the same young lady went out on a date with a new guy, and I thought I could handle it. And I've never told this story. She didn't come home that night. You don't message me. You don't let me know you safe. No, nothing. I'm calling her. Hey, yo, you good? You safe? Are you all right? She like, oh shit. She's drunk. She's like, yo, I'm drunk. I'm still at the hotel. I said, the hotel? She was like, oh, I said, you at a hotel? The heat that came from thine loins, my jaw, woo! I was on fucking fire, Creamy. On fucking fire. But I can't be mad. I can't be upset. This is our dynamic. Woo! I use that shit. I was like, I can't believe you was out all night. I was worried. I sounded like a wife. I was worried about you. I didn't know you could have been lying in a ditch. You got me and the dog here worried about you, and you just out here gallivanting with these niggas. You just riding around with random dick. And it got so bad. I made her call this nigga. I got on FaceTime with him, and I was like, if you ever keep my motherfucking girl out past the next day without her contacting me, you can date her. But
how she become your girl? That's what I want to know. It's a part of the story that's missing. Don't be leaving shit the fuck out when you telling the story, nigga. Okay.
How she became my girl was
save the hoe from the party. Now she your girl. Go ahead.
Now, okay, short way, because I don't date many women. We were
pursue women.
Do I pursue women? No. If I pursue a woman, I want you. I am very intentional about my pursuit, and I have no problem telling a woman, like, no, I have full-on desire to pursue you. Like, I'm gonna let you know how I feel. I feel like it's more prudent to be upfront about my intentions. But do I pursue many women? No. Now, do a lot of women pursue me? Yes. Do I entertain a lot of women? No. I don't entertain romantically a lot of women, but I am open.
You gotta say romantically,
because I have a lot of women friends. Thank you, Bass. I don't chase them. I don't have to.
I replace them. Go ahead.
It's not even that. because a lot of people can't deal with my schedule, my lifestyle, and I mean just not romantic. I mean just my comedy, just everything that I'm doing. But how did she become my
Can't even
girlfriend?
get on the fucking podcast consecutively for a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't even do
I get it.
podcasts without. Anyway, look, how did she become my girlfriend? We met online, started on with as an online conversation. I had a barbecue at the house. I said, "Hey, why don't you come to the house? I'd love to meet you in person." Blah blah blah. After some months of talking on the phone, she came to the crib. I was like, "You don't got to go home. If you want, you could just crash here." She did, and from that point on,
The rest is history.
well, from that point on, it was like, "Oh no, I want whatever you serving. I want more of it." I was a cool and
Oh,
dating.
whatever you were serving,
Yeah,
she wanted more.
she wanted more, and then
What you do? We'll talk
I,
about that off here.
I love a woman the way she deserves to be loved, and I'll leave that at that. But she was dating 3 other niggas when she met me. She had 3 boyfriends, so I was going to be number 4. And there's a thing called polysaturation where you're dating way too many people and you can't take on another person. I told her I don't need to be your boyfriend. I could just be your respite. Come here, I'm your vacation.
Not the fucking respite. Shut up.
I'm your respite. Please, by all means, come drink from the waters of Kurt and be refreshed as you
Just
traverse
go
this
on with the story. You always talking. Just
as you
shut up.
traverse this land. Now, so I was her respite. She would come over every other weekend or on the weekend. She was living with her nigga. She was living with him, and one by one, she started breaking up with him. She broke up with one. That nigga still hate me to this day. She left another because he started acting funny. She stopped calling him. She started spending more time with me. You know, we was out and about doing things. I like little dates. I like picnics and shit like that. So we was out and about. It was the first time I really felt like I was dating again. And it was the last one, the one she was living with. He was moving and he was like, "Why don't you move in with me and my other girlfriend? And we're gonna, have our little polycule over there." I'll never forget. We had just made love. She was laid out. She was sleeping real peaceful like.
Number 4. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had just made love. She was laid out and she was sleeping so peacefully. I got a nice little king size bed, so it's plenty of room. You can roll over twice and still be on the motherfucker.
I just want you to know that. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying. So she was sleeping real good, and she was just talking about how stressed out she was. She didn't want to live with them, and she was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to really, get on my feet." And I was like, "Well, look, you're here every weekend anyway, so why don't you take one of my guest rooms?" I had multiple guest rooms at the time. I got a nice little 4-bedroom house. It's just me. It's just me at the time. So I'm just like, take one of my guest rooms and get on your feet. And then, you can move out and establish yourself. She ended up living with me for 2 years. Yeah.
Right.
Until she
move out and get on your feet.
Yeah, she moved out and into another nigga house.
Right.
So, but that's how.
That nail her to the cross in the hotel. But go ahead.
Yeah. Not dick in a glass in case of emergency.
Well, that shit was funny.
Yes. Look, sometimes you got to be a haven for these motherfuckers. How do you love bomb in poly? The same way you do in monogamy.
It doesn't.
Love bomb. And some people love bomb with intention. Some people just do the shit to be doing the shit. What kind of Carolyn said, "What kind of Ronald McDonald operation you running, Kurt?" Listen, my house. The way I grew up in a 2-bedroom row home in Somerville, where my cousins used to come in. We used to be 14, 15 deep in that small ass house. So when I bought this house, I always said I wanted it to be a haven for people if they need a place to go.
Yeah.
I've been homeless. I know what that's like. I know what that's like to not have a place to lay your head. I've washed up in places I wouldn't dare tell anybody I laid my head on many a SEPTA bus bench. So the fact that I have a home to be able to open up to somebody that I care about, and at that time I was in love with the individual. So again, like I said, once I know I'm in 100%. What, you want to move in? Come on, let's move in. Just as easy as you move in, you can move the fuck out.
Think.
So, all right. So, is there any other questions before we pivot to these videos? Because we're gonna do these videos.
So, give me some ground rules to get me started.
Oh, you want to know ground rules?
Don't start that deep ass fucking.
No, what? There is no standard ground rules. Creamy. Everything is a la carte. Everything is tailored your way. This is Burger King. You can have it first. Okay, you want to set ground rules? Creamy, what do you personally find that you can allow in a relationship dynamic when it pertains to people outside of you and your partner? Can they fuck other people?
My partners, no.
Can they go on dates?
No.
Can they kiss, touch, suck?
They are there for me.
Oh, well then you want a polydynamic that just serves you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well then you gotta find two niggas that's willing to only sleep with you. Okay, Miss Badu, you gotta go. You need to get three hit singles. If you start there, because you can sing. I know you can sing. Why don't you go ahead on drop a couple hit singles, join the Roots, do about a year and a half with the Roots, and you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's somebody out. No, there are men out there who would absolutely be enthralled to be a service matron to just you, and drink at the waters are creamy.
Until then, I just found one that's willing to do everything that I need him to do.
Well, then that's not a polydynamic.
It's all right. I mean, I said until then.
Okay. Well, I mean, then there's no ground rules to set.
I feel like when I get older,
I feel like you don't know what the fuck you want.
We already know this.
Yeah,
we know this already.
And this is what I mean. It's okay to just be like, I want to try a thing, and if I don't like it, I'm out of it.
Leave it alone. That's all.
Yeah. A lot of dynamics that I've indulged in are women who are like, yo, I really fucking want to entertain you, but you're not monogamous, but I'll try, I'll see. And the minute this shit ain't hitting, I'm out. Now, some women know from rip, I'll never be able to be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, again, I'm not on a relationship escalator. We don't even have to date. I have great friends that I fucked.
Damn it.
And we have shook hands and remained the bestest of friends. And it was just in those instances, we gave in to the most carnal of our desires.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just want to ride the roller coaster. They don't never have to go back to King's Dominion. Some people want season passes. And some people just don't know how to leave. All depends on what you want. And you got to find what works for you. That's it. We are living in an apex of time where we literally can dictate our own happiness. Can you imagine that? There's enough breakage against the status quo that no matter what sexual spectrum you're on, where you are in the LGBTQ plus, wherever you are on the relationship scale, shit, you don't even have to identify as what is assigned to you by medical science per se.
That part,
you identify as a nigga. That's what you identify as.
Don't tell. My husband might be in the comments. Do not tell.
Run, nigga, run. Identify as a sprinter and run your ass up out of these comments. Run, nigga, run. Can't keep running away.
I do not. I'm soft when I want to be.
Okay.
I am.
Anyway,
Get to the videos, goddamn it.
but let me just, before we get to the videos, let me just say, folks, find your fucking peace. Find your happiness.
Yeah.
Whoever or whatever brings you peace and happiness and does not impede somebody else's peace and happiness, not only find it, but hold on to that shit for dear life. Woo. All right. So Creamy got an assortment of different videos we're going to talk about. Let's bring up video one.
Thought one of my clients is in a potty relationship, but while I was at her house doing her hair, I came to the conclusion that she don't want to beat her and she was just doing it to satisfy her boyfriend because her and the other girl almost went for blows and I didn't know what to do. I was just gonna sit there and watch cause... So she started telling me that her boyfriend wanted, you know, an extra person and they wanted to test this little poly thing out and she was down for it. So they started getting all like dating social sites and found a few different girls, but then narrowed it down to one girl. So the girl ended up they end up talking and came up with a plan that they was gonna link and meet this one weekend. So the girl actually drove 2 hours to Atlanta to come and be with them for the weekend or whatever. When the girl made it to Atlanta, the boyfriend was still at work, so the girl and my client ended up just chopping it up, catching up, just getting to know each other. Then they had to go pick the boyfriend up from work. When he came outside, the girl got out the car to greet him and gave him a hug. She felt some type of way about that, like, why is this bitch hugging my nigga? And that's where all the issues started. The second conflict was once they made it back home, our client had to go pick the kids up from school, and when she was calling out her boyfriend and the girl on her way back wasn't nobody answer. So when she got back to the house, they was basically doing what it do. He like, ain't that what she here for? You were just with her all these hours while I was at work. You ain't get you none yet? The girl overheard them arguing and tried to defuse the situation by giving them both a kiss. The dude gave her a kiss, but the girl from my client kind of turned her head and turned the other way. That night, they ended up getting drunk and going out to the club, and it was a very fun night. I guess it probably was the liquor because my client was down with everything and have fun that night. They woke up to cook breakfast. The girl asked my client, like, do you want me to help you in the kitchen to cook breakfast? She's like, I don't need your help. I want you to help me. So she like, all right. So she went back in the bed to go lay with their boyfriend and called her way home. Day two, when she go in the room and start cussing both of them out. Once again, the other girl tried to defuse the situation just by getting up and going into the other room. The rest of day two was kind of like a chill day. They did watch movies and stuff, but when it was time to go to bed, she told him to tell her she got to sleep in the other room. By the time I went over there to do my client here, this day three, so I'm guessing the girl probably was fed up by the time I made it there, and that's where the drama started. Story not about the client in the video, but I'll finish the story in part two.
Woo-wee. Yeah. Seen that shit before.
I'm gonna honestly say, my first threesome situation, I feel like that bitch knew this nigga. Like, she was too comfortable with his ass. Too comfortable.
She knew what he liked.
She knew exactly what the fuck he liked. Exactly.
So, okay. Polydynamics and threesomes included. A lot of people think that they're okay with things until you are actually in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's built to see somebody else fucking their person, let alone touching their person. And so it's so weird. Some people are okay with watching somebody else fuck their person, but don't kiss them. I've been in a threesome situation where I was given ground rules. Don't put your dick in her. She can suck your dick, but you can't eat her out. You can do that. I was like, well, what the fuck is the point? Why are we even doing this? What are we doing this for? But and fine, people are entitled to their boundaries, but that doesn't mean I have to subscribe to it as well. But people like to piecemeal what's acceptable and not acceptable. This girl came up for 2 hours to see them. She's thinking it's a unicorn situation where, okay, I'm going to be dating the both of them, so I'm going to show them both love. Obviously, the man knew what the how they say, he knew what the mission was. He saw it through, my boy. And
was okay.
Yeah. He knew what the assignment was, and she was on a more let's feel this situation out and see where it goes. Things I understand. I'm a cook. Ooh, I love fucking cooking. You know what I don't allow? Another motherfucker in my kitchen. Oh, I do not. Listen, look. Letting another woman cook in your kitchen is a certain level of comfortability that a lot of women will never be okay with.
That part.
And see, this is like B-Fly said, if you're not my person, go off. See, people need that detachment. It's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like an Airbnb. Yeah, you'll keep it clean, but this ain't my shit.
Right.
So ultimately, you gotta be careful, because you invite things in situations like this, like that could have turned volatile.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, and the fact that she telling the stylist all the business and whatnot, that already lets me know this is not a person because that's another thing, how you compartmentalize information. Because how do you have confidentiality in a relationship with 3 people?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody wants all of their business told to the other person, and you got to know how to pick and choose. But yeah, Creamy, that is a fucked up example of polydynamic, and that's not even poly in my opinion. That's a couple looking for a unicorn.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that to me, maybe it could have evolved to a polydynamic if everybody was with it, but
she wasn't with it. She wasn't with it. She was just filling it out.
Yeah,
and again, like the hairstylist said, that she was just doing it for him.
And ladies, stop giving your niggas threesomes and you're not really with it. Yeah, if you're not really with it, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you sacrifice yourself in that way and your relationship in that way, it does more detriment and harm than it does good. I ain't never seen a threesome save a relationship ever. All right, let's check out the next video.
Benefits to having a poly relationship, and I'll tell you why.
I hate the way
in our situation, we're good because you meet all of my love languages, right? And you meet my sex drive. You meet my.
That's a pass yours, but go ahead.
My romantic side. You mark. You check off all the boxes. So I'm good. There's nothing that I'm like, oh, I wish I had somebody that I could talk to, or I wish I had somebody that could keep up with my sex drive, or I wish I had somebody that was driven. I don't know, right? Like, I'm good on all areas. But there are relationships where there's like, okay, well, we have a connection, but there's things that are missing. Now, if you've ever heard you've heard people say, I'm sure before, if I can put this person mixed with this person, mixed with this person, that's a poly relationship to me.
Right.
Like the benefits of that is you can get most of your needs met between the extra people.
Multiple people.
I want to address a couple comments real quick. Big Exclusive says she may not have been there before. Maybe they just have chemistry.
Well, it's not no fucking chemistry. She been there before. She done tested the water. She just knew too fucking much. Too much. And they got 2 kids now, so she been there before.
Damn. Rose said you can clap like a seal and bark. You can't go in without turning 3 times clockwise and screaming tiddlywinks when you come. It has to be in the cherry Pop-Tart box. Right. Exactly. Putting all these stipulations on the threesome. B-Fly says, if you pillow talking my business with another person, the intimacy is gone. Facts. And knowing how to traverse that is communication and boundaries. That was such, I had many a messy situation where someone felt like I should be telling the other person's business, and I would be like, no, it's none of your business. It's not for you to know. Oh, well, we tell each other everything. Yes, I will tell you everything but that person's business. They want you to know, they'll tell you.
They'll tell you, right.
Shit like that irks me because people just want to be nosy. And sometimes people want to just use it to harness getting somebody else out the situation. Now, I've had that happen a lot. I've had one partner try to maneuver another person out my life. All right, another video.
3 tips for dealing with jealousy.
Polyamory edition. Acknowledge your jealousy without shaming yourself.
You may feel that because you are jealous, that means that you are not truly polyamorous, and deny your feelings because it makes you feel confused and uncomfortable. Jealousy is a natural instinct for many people. Acknowledging it is the first step to making it better.
Preach, sister.
Look at where it stems from.
Take your time and think deeply about what's causing your jealousy. From there, you'll be better equipped to deal with whatever is making you feel that way.
Communicate with your partners.
Once you have figured out the cause of your jealousy, communicate with your partners and make sure you have practiced healthy and honest communication skills before you approach them.
Ooh, woo. They was preaching. It's a skill that has to be exercised and practiced.
Yeah.
And not just polyamory, but in all facets of relationships. Are you a flirt?
No.
Oh, well, you are a liar, apparently.
Yes, I'm a flirt. I flirt
Okay.
with the tree if it stood there long enough. God damn it.
Okay, then. Do you get angry if you ever saw your man flirt with somebody else?
So not innocent like flirting, like because I naturally flirt and don't even know I'm flirting sometimes. But if you're being extra, like if you're doing extra stuff like whispering in that person's ear and stuff like that, I will probably
Flirting is flirting.
Yeah, no, you're not whispering nobody's ear.
Scale of flirting is irrelevant because how you perceive the flirt can be different. A motherfucker could bat their eyes and it's like you was fucking them, and another person
that.
Okay. Do you get jealous when you watch your partner person flirt with another individual? Yes or no?
Probably so, yeah.
Right. So you are a flirt. You do the thing, but the person that you date can't do the thing. You know what that's called?
What I said was I get a little jealous, but I gotta check myself because flirting.
Okay, all right, I like that. How do you check yourself when you get jealous?
I mean, you just gotta see the levels. Like it's not that deep. Like I do the same thing, and he may not like it, but
No, Creamy is not mono. Creamy is selfish. There's a difference.
Why am I selfish, Curtis?
Because and mind you, I do not consider selfish derogatory.
Right. Why am I selfish?
But it is a descriptive term that accurately portrays who you are. Creamy wants what Creamy wants.
Absolutely.
Even if that means denying people the very same thing that Creamy wants.
And who mad?
Right. Selfish. It's okay. I mean, there's got to be.
I don't deny being selfish. I am very fucking selfish. Like I am. I want what the fuck I want, and I want it now. And if I don't get it, I'm gonna pout. I'm going to probably kick and fucking scream, cross my fucking arms to myself because I ain't gonna allow you to see it. But it's gonna happen.
And this is why it will take a unique, special, patient individual to be able to understand the nuances of you, your love languages, and how you communicate to effectively be in a relationship with you.
Absolutely.
Now, if a motherfucker want to sit with you and get a PhD in Creamy, that is absolutely.
Because I'm a big ass brat too.
We know.
Don't do that to me. But no, I
do. B-Fly said I stand. You got. I mean, that's most women.
But you know what? I'm not gonna like fly off the hinges because my man flirted with somebody. I'm not gonna do that. I
agree with you. I am of the mindset that I will not let you see me react in public. Like I'm not gonna be like the fuck.
You said in public though. So what about in private?
I had that one bad situation where I made a call at nigga. I ain't gonna front. I was puffing my jaw. That was
petty.
The 300-pound girl. I haven't felt that angry in a long fucking time. I wanted to fight that nigga. I didn't even know why I wanted to fight him. He ain't did nothing wrong. Woo! I wanted to beat the fuck out of him. And once that hood come up out of me, because I'm a comedian. I'm a funny guy. Fat people are jolly and jovial. That's what.
Pillsbury Dub. Go ahead.
Yeah. But man, yeah, when that switch is on. But to your point, I don't consider myself selfish because I don't deny this. I'm about equity. If I do it, then you should be allowed to do it. What I don't like is hypocrisy. You will not do the thing and then tell me I can't do the thing.
No, absolutely. That's why I went like, so my thing is flirting. I believe that flirting is innocent until it's not. Okay? Until it's not.
Flirting is never innocent. Ever. There's a no. That is so please do not perpetuate that falsehood. Flirting is not. You know why? Here's why. You know why flirting is never innocent? And I'm about to trash this entire ideology of yours, so forgive me. If somebody flirted, if a grown man flirted with your youngest daughter, is it nothing?
Okay, so that's I mean,
okay then. Flirting is
you gonna die?
never. Flirting is flirting.
No, have a death sentence. That's
exactly.
That's somebody
what
to die.
But could you imagine that? And then he turns to you like, "What are you talking about? Flirting doesn't mean anything until it means something. What are you? Flirting always means something. So let's do away with that. Let's do away with that thought process. Flirting always means something. Now, what do you define it as? What do you interpret it as can change, but it means something, and it's usually something of a sexual nature. Because even if you want to fuck that motherfucker, just because you don't do it, don't mean you don't want to do it. And see, that's where relationships have an issue. Because we as men and women, we want to really think that the other person don't want to fuck other people, or we don't want to think about it, or we don't want to hear about it. Listen, let me tell you something. The best pussy in the world ain't the best pussy in the world, because another pussy in the world is the best pussy in the world. The same thing applies to dick.
Can you just come on down, man?
I'm just saying. God didn't stop making private parts when they made yours. I don't care if you a 10-inch monster. There's a 4-inch pump and stomp that will beat your girl guts in and hump the fuck out of her. And you can sit there and grab and twirl your dick all day long and talk shit about him, but he making your girl feel all types of special, putting his 4-inch monster to work, saying loving affirmations, licking her on a nostril just the way she like, because you won't do it because you think that you lay in the pipe. And look, you get the rubbing and touching, and next thing you know, she running off with that nigga, and you still holding your 10-inch dick, mad as fuck.
As fuck.
So please, let's not pretend like your person doesn't want to fuck other people.
Huh?
All right. We got 2 more videos. Whew, child.
For being in a poly relationship.
I've had a poly relationship before. I feel like it was just a bad experience the first time. I was brought into a toxic relationship. The girl brought me in to make the man satisfied because he would stop cheating.
I have entertained. These days, people are really not doing it correctly. So I don't think that people really understand, like, the end of the day is still one queen in the household. I don't want to say a servant, but the other girl is just kind of
which like falls into the reason why you're doing it.
Right. You're supposed to kind of like, you're supposed to serve the king and the queen, but you're not treated any differently. You still benefit, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain things you just don't benefit off of because you're just not there. Like, it's that respect of, I've been here, so you got to respect that. Like, I've already been here, and now we're bringing you to this situation. And the poly situation that I entertained, she just didn't understand that. Like, this situation.
Oh,
what does she mean by serve the king and queen?
This
if
is the shit.
To a poly dynamic, I'm not serving who.
This is people who look for unicorns. I recently had someone say to me, my perfect poly dynamic is me and my man, and we date a girl, and that girl serves at the pleasure of us. And I have seen this dynamic. When I tell you, if the person has a service kink or is okay with that, then more power to them. But that shit looks sad to me because they're not loved the same. They're not treated the same. They're discarded easily in these dynamics because ultimately it's always going to be 2 against 1. And please, if ever y'all were to entertain any kind of polydynamic, if whoever is the hinge, and the hinge means the person that connects you to, and that could be a man, a woman, or a them, whatever the dynamic is, the person who is the hinge, if they do not set equity and equality, once you've established that you all are in a relationship, run. And I mean fast. Because them motherfuckers will use you, abuse you, and then co-sign each other for why it was okay to do you dirty.
Oh shit.
I hate that unicorn shit. Because I be goddamned if I'ma serve anybody. Sorry.
Good. You know I ain't serve. That's all right.
So Creamy, to surmise things, you're monogamous. Let that shit go. Let that shit
what?
Go. You're mono-selfish.
I'm what?
Nah, you're just creamy. You want what you want. Just like I'm not poly, I'm not ambiamorous, I'm not necessarily. These are just terms that we use to describe it to other people so people can understand where we're coming from. But I'm just Curtis. Like literally, people hear poly and think I can't be monogamous. That's all I've ever known most of my life. And I absolutely could revert back to it if I so chose. I just choose not to, nor have I found the motivation to do that. Now, if that changes, then I have every right to entertain one woman and be sated by that individual alone. Can't nobody tell me I can't. But also in polydynamics, I can entertain multiple women. I have been in a relationship with upwards to 4 people at one time in a polycule, and it worked for the time that it worked. All things evolve and grow and shit changes, but at the end of the day, just find love. There's nothing wrong with having many loves, and love will never be completely equal. Even though you have, like, parents say this shit, and I know Creamy gonna look at me sideways when I say this, but parents have this shit where they say that they love their kids equally. That's bullshit. No, you don't. Love is a fluctuating scale. Love will always be a fluctuating scale. B-Fly said, how do y'all find the time? You make time for what you want.
You make time for what you want.
And that's real. I mean,
me, because I make time for work and then everything else is.
All right. Rose says, I'm poly. I'm married. We're not seeing anyone else. We find it cool. If we don't, cool. Right.
I'm monogamish.
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 You full of shit. It's just what you are.
That it describes me. That's who I am.
I mean, again, but then also I've dated, most of the women I've dated aren't straight. They're either bisexual and why do you need to deny a side of your sexuality simply because you want to deal with me as a man? Don't you want a woman? I mean, right. If it comes along, cool. But you would like to be open. I mean, I would think that somebody who is bisexual will want to be open to the idea. And if you are, cool. If we want to entertain a throuple, cool. But also, I ain't never got to meet the motherfucker either.
Yeah, female's cool. I was in a whole lesbian relationship for years, so
right. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess, again, seek your happiness. Find out what you want. Anything that you heard tonight, please do not take it as advice. This is just my personal experiences and Creamy's personal experiences. We don't know shit. We both single, still trying to figure it out at 40 fucking 2 and 3.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Ain't that the goddamn truth?
How people get married in the comments. Here we go, Zonzo.
But no, but listen, we got a wealth of knowledge in this motherfucker. We got over at least 20 years plus of marriage knowledge.
That's right.
We got about the same amount of pussy eating knowledge.
Probably more.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of things.
Same amount of dick sucking knowledge.
Whoa. I defer to you. I don't know shit about that. I don't know a motherfucking thing.
I thought you would change the fucking.
No, you are the subject matter expert.
I'm a real
I don't know shit
I do
about
what I
that.
do.
Yeah. Yes, Lord. And praise the Lord, Pastor Pepper. That's why you in heaven. At the end of the day, for me, I just polyamorous, many loves. I just look for love, any and everywhere I can get it. Not every love is a romantic love, and ladies, please, by all means, I am okay with just being your friend. I'm not one of them niggas that's just waiting to give you the dick. I do all right by myself. I do not need to gain friendship under false pretenses,
right?
Nor initiate an escalation of romantic desires because I want to maneuver sexual favors out of you, if that makes sense. Because a lot of niggas use poly shit as a cover for threesomes and just fucking and cheating, and that's the ones that really give the culture a bad name. Nigga, if you wanted new pussy, you could have just said that. If you wanted to step outside of your relationship, ask her for a hall pass, bro. Don't all of a sudden say you're polyamorous.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they're gonna fall for your personality anyway. You don't talk out their draws.
I don't have to talk to nobody out. I don't have to talk a soul out their draws. They don't wear them. They don't wear them when they come meet me in the first place.
God damn. Where are these hoes at? Those are ones your mama warned you about.
Yeah, I said these little fast ass girls. Little hot to pet. My mom, to this day, my mom's 77 years old now. She be like, how you still finding these little fast ass girls in your old age?
They be finding your ass half the time. I'm telling you, because clearly you ain't gonna go looking for them.
I am a respite in an oasis for
damn.
those that are downtrodden.
Respite. I know what a respite is. You just so ignorant. I just want to say that.
You need to quench yourself and recharge with love. I have an abundance of love to give. Jesus spread love even to the whores. So do I.
Okay.
I'm just saying, to all you Mary Magdalenes out there, come. Quench your thirst. Be sated.
I hate him. She said my eye too. I'm fast.
All right, listen, we get ready to get the fuck up out of here. Creamy, let everybody know they can follow and support you.
You said what?
Let everybody know they can follow and support you.
Unless you got food stamps. If you got food stamps, you can follow me on Instagram at This Libra versus No One with the underscores that's underneath my name. On Facebook, it's just Tanil Creamy Moses, and on TikTok, it's the Creamy One. And then you can also catch me on the Devil's Advocate Pod on Instagram when Kurt decided.
Beautiful. You are really taking to this this whole podcasting thing. This is beautiful. I love this. As always, it's your boy King Kurt Live. Get ready to get up out of here.
My mom might be watching this motherfucking show. God damn it!
And your mama know. Your mama know who the fuck you are, just like my mama know. As always, as she sits on high in heaven, I roast down here in the depths below. You can catch us here on Mondays every week, going live We're going to get better with it. I promise you we're going to get better with it. Just keep checking back in as we keep looking at both sides of the coin of every topic and situation. Send us topics that you may want us to talk about, and we bring up all kinds of viral content and shit. The creamy one, by all means, make sure you follow and support her because she's a humdinger to follow. And if you're around, Headner's in charge. As always, we will see y'all next week.